How, Miss Krystal? So let's say we had the square root of 16 squared. What is the square root of 16? Four. And we bring our squared over because we did what was inside the parentheses first. What is 4 squared? 16. Well, now we didn't even have to do all this. All we had to do was say that cancels out, and gives us this in the middle, and we still get the same answer. Do y'all see that?
Yes, I get it. Thank you.
Perfect. So once again, the lady told me, when you get a problem like this, solve, and sometimes it might not be on the right. This might be on this side. So solve what you can first, and then put your answer choices in that box. So the square root of 4 is 2, and we put every one of these answer choices in here into this box until we got what equal 2. And this one equal 2 because that square root symbol cancels out and that squared symbol cancels out, and it leaves us with what's underneath the square root symbol.
So, Miss Krystal, we got to pay attention because what I did was since I saw the 2 square root, the 2, I figured that 2 would match that 2 on the top. So I was like, well, you just explained that I was totally wrong on that one.
Yes, please pay attention. Please pay attention. So here's one for you. Here's one for y'all. And I want to see what your answer is. All right, so what is the square root of 9? The square root of 9 is 3. And we have this box with the square. Now we have to see what equals 3. 9 squared, if we put a 9 here, that does not equal 3. That equals 81. If we put square root 9 here, that's going to give us 9. That is not right. If we put, let's do D. If we put a 3 here, that's 3 squared. That equals 9. That is not what we're looking for. But if we put square root 3 here, it cancels out. That cancels out. We're left with 3. And C is our answer. How do y'all feel about this problem now? Now that we have gone over it and I have shared my dream with y'all, how do y'all feel? Perfect. All right. Let's talk about percentages. Let's talk about percentages. I want y'all to know something. There is a difference when they say, what is 10% of a number? And when your test asks, what is 10% off of a number? When you're looking for a percent of a number, always change your percent to a decimal, which is moving your decimal 2 points or 2 spots to the left. So we looking at 5%, we got 1, 2. And this is where my decimal is, and I'm going to put a 0 in that little hump. Change your percent to a decimal and then multiply your decimal by the number we're looking for. That is how you find the percent of a number. Once again, when you're looking for the percent of a number, you take your percent, change it to a decimal. 12.05. Then multiply your decimal by the number they give you. And that is your percent of a number. When they ask you for the percent off of a number, you have 2 steps you have to do. Well, more than 2 steps, but 2 steps really. Change your percent to a decimal. 5. Multiply that by the number. You're going to get a number. And with this number, you're going to subtract it from the original number. And then that is what's off of. It's kind of like a discount or a sale. There's a 5% discount for something. And what you paying for costs $1,205. And you want to use your 5% off coupon. You're going to multiply 5% by 1205 and you're going to get a number. That number that you get, you're going to subtract it from 1205 because that's your discount. So I just gave y'all that juice. I want you to try to work these out before I intervene. I want you to try to work these 2 out before I intervene, and then let's discuss it. I'm going to give 2 minutes. All right. So 5% of 1205. I have 0.05 times 1205. 0.05 times 1205, and I get 60.25. So my answer for this one is A. Now I want to see what's 5% off of 1205. So I know 5% of 1205 is this. And then I just need to subtract 1205 minus 60.25, and I get 1,144 and 75 hundredths. and C is my answer. How does that feel?
How do we know like which way to move the decimals and like when we move them like left or right?
Good question. When you are changing a percent, anytime you're dealing with percents and you have to do something, you must change it to a decimal. So changing a percent to a decimal, you move it 2 times to the right. Let's say that we have 135%. And they say 135% of the people did not show up. And I know that's kind of crazy because that means nobody showed up. But let's say we had 1,705 people and we need 135% of that. You would take your decimal, move it 2 times, and now your decimal is 1.35, and you will multiply by that. Now, when you have a decimal and you are, yes, move it 3 times to the left. When you have a decimal, let's say we at 0.75 and they want your decimal to be a percentage, you move it 2 times to the right. So now we have 75%. Or let's say we have 0.0073 and they want that as a percentage. You move your decimal 2 times to the right, 1, 2, and now we have 0.73% is our answer. So when you're changing a decimal to a percentage, move it 2 times to the right. When you have a percent and you're doing it to a decimal, move it 2 times to the left. Hopefully that makes sense, what I just wrote. Decimal to a percent, 2 times to the right. Percent to decimal, 2 times to the left. And see, Esme says, so it's always going to be 2 times. Yes, because we're using 100. It's being divided by 100, honestly, and 100 has 2 zeros in it. That's why we're having to move it 2 times, because it's either being multiplied by 100 or divided by 100.
Keep it there real quick, Miss Krystal.
Did you say keep it there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm just writing it down because I'm having a hard time trying to move it up so I can see the bottom.
Gotcha. Let me know when we can move it, when I can move it.
Okay.
All right, so now let's see. Oh, wait. Esmeralda, do you have a question?
Yes, just for clarification, so if it was 1,000 and we had 3 zeros, we would move 3 times to the left and 3 times to the right?
No. If we had
No.
1,000, like 1,000%,
Mm-hmm.
no. If we
Okay.
had, it's always going to be 2 times. So if we were at 1,000% and they want it as a decimal, you're going to move it 2 times to the left. 1, 2. So
Okay.
1,000% as a decimal is 10.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted clarification about the 2 times.
Yes, always 2 times.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, here is a question you may see on your test. Oh, Miss Deidre, you have a question. I'm listening.
I wanted to just confirm that the percent is multiplied by 100 and the decimal is divided by 100. Is that how the rule?
No, hold on. Let
Okay.
me make sure. No, the percent is divided by 100.
Okay.
So if we had 5%, if we divide 5 by 100, we're going to get 0.05. But if I want to
Okay.
change that 0.05 to a percentage, I would multiply it by 100. And multiplying this by 100 gives me 5.
Okay, so the percentage is multiplied and the decimal is divided, right?
So I think we're saying it different ways.
Am
So
I confusing
let,
myself? That's what I'm
let
trying.
me say it like this. Let me say it like this. If you want to, let's just say you don't want to do the 2 times to the left, 2 times to the right. If you have a percentage and you need to change it to a decimal, divide it by 100.
Got it.
If you have a decimal and you want to change it to a percentage, multiply it by 100.
Okay, perfect. I had it backwards.
Gotcha.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Miss Deidre. All right, here is one that you may see on your exam. What is your answer? All right, so we have a coat that costs $580. And CM wants to use his 30% discount. So we have to multiply 30% by this. But before we can do that, we must change 30% to a decimal, which is 0.3. So if we do 580 times 0.3, we get 174. But because it's a percentage off, we must subtract 580 minus 174, and we get 406. And this is how much CM is going to pay for his coat before taxes. So great job. How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel? Great, Maria. Okay, any questions about this type of problem? Any questions about this type of problem? All right, here is a brain teaser. What is your answer? Here is a brain teaser. What is your answer? Do not run from the problem. Look the problem in its face. Read it word by word. Write it out, translate it, and let me know what your answer is. But do not run from the problem. Who is confused? If you are confused, say me. Okay, here's what I need from you. Those who are saying me, tell me, somebody, or you can put it in the chat or you can lift your voice to the mic. What is the confusing part?
So I'm like I'm using all of the terms. So 3 cubed, wouldn't that be 3? Like,
Okay, wait. We talked about 3 cubed this morning. What does 3 cubed mean?
it's 3 to the third power.
Okay, hold on. My pen is too big. Hold on. We have 3 to the third power. Okay, keep going.
And then the next one, it shows the square root
No,
of
no,
9,
no,
which
no,
is
no, no. You can't do that. You said 3 cubed and you went straight to square root. You skipped 2 words. Start over.
Minus the
Minus.
okay, and then the square root of 9, which would be 9 times. Oh, is it not 9 to the second power?
No, that's 9 squared. That says the square root of 9.
That's the part I was messing up on.
Gotcha. So we have 3 cubed, which is this, minus the square root of 9, which is this, minus 9 squared, which is this. So what I'm going to do now is translate my symbols into numbers. What is 3 cubed? How much is 3 cubed? 27. So I'm going to put my 27 there. And what is 9? What's the square root of 9? 3. And what's 9 squared? Or 9 times 9? 81. So if I put in my calculator, 27 minus 3 minus 81, what do I get? Yes, Carly. Negative 57 is what I get. Yes, Carly. You just got to take it one step at a time. A lot of times we'll see these words and we're like, oh gosh, what is this talking about? It's too much. But if we just take it one step at a time, 3 cubed minus square root of 9 minus 9 squared, and then take those symbols and translate them into numbers. Step by step. Yes, Dr. Hills, step-by-step life lesson. But we must know, remember I told us in the beginning, we must know the rules. So once again, if you see cubed, let's say we have 4 cubed, it looks like this. Cube root looks like this. If we say square root, it looks like this. But squared looks like this. Know the rules, be comfortable with the rules, and you will make it out on top. Very good. I'm glad y'all liked my brain teaser. All right, here is another. Okay, wait, it's cubed because of length times width. Yes, 3D. Yes. Hey, that's another. Yes, yes, Dr. Hills. Yes. Here is another question you may see on your exam. What is your answer? We just got through talking about square root. You can use your calculator. We just got through talking about square root. What is your answer? All right, Carly just told us 10 squared is 100 and 11 squared is 121. And this number 115 lies between 100 and 121. So C is our answer. If we look at A, we got 64 and 81. 115 does not lie in between those two numbers. B, we have 81 and 100. 115 does not lie between those two numbers. And then D, we have 121 and 144. 115 on a number line does not lie in between those two numbers. So our answer is C, between 10 and 11. Are there any questions how we got this answer?
So to get these answers, okay, I understand that 8 and 9 lie between 64 and 81, but is it like, are you doing like 8 times 8?
Yes, I am, because squaring is the opposite of square root.
Okay.
Squaring is the opposite of square root. So 8 times 8 is 64. Actually, let me do it on a number line.
Okay.
Let's say we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. What is 8 times 8?
64.
64. Therefore, the square root of 64 is 8. What is 9 times 9?
81.
81. Square root of 81 is 9. What is 10 times 10?
100.
100. Square root of 100 is 10. 11 times 11?
121.
121. 12 times 12?
144.
144. 13 times 13?
169.
169. And 14 times 14?
196.
196. So we're looking for the number 115. And we're looking at the top row because those are our square roots. Where would 115 lie or be?
Between 10 and 11.
Between 10 and 11, right in here, because we got 100 and we have 121. 115 is somewhere in between those two numbers. But we're looking at these.
Oh my God. I got a big smile because I got this one.
Come on, smile.
Oh my God.
10 with some change. Where would the square root of 172 lie? The square root of 172. Where would
Between
that
between 13 and 14.
between 13 and 14?
14.
How do y'all feel about this question now?
I feel good about this one. Real.
Cool. Any questions about how we got this? Any questions about how we answered this question? I have seen this on a test several times. Thank you, Trenton. I'm glad that you are a visual learner and the chart helped. Thank you, Trenton. All right. We love you, Haley. All right, let's go to our next. Slope. Slope. When you are doing slope, when you see a question that has to do with slope, always, if you do not memorize the formula, go to your formula sheet and look for slope of a line. The formula to find the slope of a line is M equals Y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. This is the formula to find slope. A lot of times students say y equals mx plus b. If you want to use that formula to find your slope, by all means do it. But to me, this one is the easiest one to do. So with that being said, anytime I do a slope problem, I don't care how many times a day I do this, I must label my coordinates. These are coordinates. They are represented by an x and a y. This is x. X always comes first in your coordinate. And then this is y. Because this coordinate came first, these are going to be my ones. And then this one came second, so they're going to be my twos. And when I look at my formula, I have y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. My y2 is 0 minus my y1 is -3. My x2 is -2 minus my x1 is -4. One thing I want to show you is another definition to give you. Anytime you say minus negative, that means to add. That means to turn into a positive. So as you can see, you have 0 minus -3. That means add. That becomes 3. You have -2 minus -4. That becomes a positive, and -2 plus 4 equals 2, and my slope is 3/2. I am going to pause right there because I know that there are some questions. I want you to ask your questions. I want you to digest this because we have another one to do. But before we go into that one, I want to make sure we are on the same page with this one. What questions are out there? I am here.
Okay, I'm just looking at the formula. I was wondering why 0 first. So y2, so you bring your 0, you have your y1, then you bring your 3. Then at the bottom are your x's. So you do x2's to, okay. Okay, I see it now.
All right, I want you guys to do this one on your own and tell me what the slope is. Once again, the formula for slope is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And just in case, I've had some students in the past, this is y squared. This is y1. This is squaring. This is when you have a set. So if I have 1y, 2y's, 3y's, that's what that is. This is a subscript and this is a superscript. So this is not squaring. We're not squaring. We're just saying our first y and our second y. So our second y minus our first y divided by our second x minus our first x. This is not squaring. I'll let you guys work this out. When you have the answer, put it in the chat. Okay, so my Y2 is what? Two minus, and what's my Y1?
-2.
-2 divided by, what's my X2?
-8.
-8 minus, what's my X1?
8.
8. What does minus negative mean?
To add.
Minus negative means to add.
To add.
So we have 2 minus -2. So that becomes 4. And we have -8 minus 8. If I have -$8 in my account and a bill for $8 comes out, how much do I owe the bank? I owe them $16. Can 4 over 16 be reduced? Is there a number that goes into 4 and 16 equally?
4.
4. How many times does 4 go into 4?
Once.
1.
1 time. How many times does 4 go into 16?
4.
4.
4 times. And I have a positive divided by a negative. What's a positive divided by a negative?
Negative.
Negative. So my slope
Okay.
is -1/4.
Yes, I see that. I changed it at the last. I was like, oh my goodness, this is supposed to be a negative.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How, what I'm confused is like all the negative signs, the positive signs, like right there where you said -8 minus 8, it is, you made it to a negative
May I
16.
interject and show how this can be done on a calculator to make it a lot easier when we're trying to process those negative and positive numbers, Krystal?
Yes, you may.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen real quick because, like you, Yuri, sometimes it's just too much to have to, especially when we're on a timed test, to have to, what is
Yeah.
negative? What is positive? So I'm going to show
Yeah.
you how to use your calculator, put this in, and get the answer faster, okay? So
Okay.
I've written down the numbers, but help me if I get it incorrect. All right, so we have 2. Whoops, hold on. Just clear. I'm going to hit the fraction button first because this is a fraction. So the fraction button is N over D, okay? N over D. So I'm going to clear out my calculator, hit that fraction button, and in my numerator, I'm going to put my Y2 minus Y1. So we had 2 minus a negative, and the negative button is here. Don't use the minus button for negative. Use this negative button. So minus a -2. Then I'm going to cursor down using this arrow. Boom.
Wait, hold on, just,
I'm
I'm
in
sorry,
my
hold on just a second.
denominator.
I had
Yuri,
a,
you asking a question?
yeah, can you go back and show me what button you use for the -2, please?
Sure can. So let me go back. I'm going to hit the delete button to get rid of my -2. And the negative button on your TI is under the number 3. See this here, Yuri? This is the
Got
button
it.
we need to use.
Perfect. Yeah, I gotta learn how to use the calculator. So got it. Perfect. Thank you.
You are welcome. And if you're using an iPhone or a telephone, don't use the minus button on that calculator either. Your negative button is going to be over the number 8 if you're using your telephone, your scientific calculator, okay? So use that button and not the minus button because you're going to get a different answer. So I have 2 minus a -2. I'm using my cursor arrow here, let me get myself together, cursor arrow here to go down into my denominator. I'm going to use the negative button because it's -8 minus 8. Before I press enter, because I am aware and I know that I move too fast, I'm going to check to make sure I've put my answer in correctly. All right, 2 minus -2, -8 minus 8. Can you guys back me up and drop a yes if I've put my equation in correctly? All right, thank you. So now I'm going to press enter and boom, there's the answer. No tears, no stress. Let the calculator do the rest. Okay? Just like that. Because we don't have time to be panicking about what is positive, what's negative. Put it in the calculator. You know how to use your calculator, and it will help you be successful on the exam. So please get your TI 30XS today. And if you need help with that, Talaka can help you. Just let us know. But you can get them on Amazon for just $17. They'll be in your mailbox tomorrow. And that's my commercial break. Krystal, I am turning it back over to you.
Oh,
Hey,
Dr.
Miss
Hill, that was amazing.
Krystal. Dr. Hill.
Okay, so here's one, Dr. Hills, I want you to do. Just to show them, just in case we need to do it. No, we need to do it again because some people said it was so fast. So here's what I want y'all to do. The slope of a line, I want you to write it down. What is the slope of a line that crosses the points, parentheses open, -6, comma, 2, parentheses closed, and parentheses open, 4, comma, -6. So we're going to look for the slope that passes through the coordinates that are on the screen right now. I'm going to give y'all time to work it out. And Calivia, when she used the calculator, she did divide. The calculator just did it all for her. A fraction is dividing. So we have the coordinates -6 and 2 and the coordinates 4 and -6. And before we work it out on the calculator, I want to see what you can do on your own. I'm going to give 2 minutes. Can you come up with the answer either on the calculator or by hand? And then Dr. Hills will give us a demonstration on her virtual calculator. So the first coordinate is -6 and 2. The second coordinate is 4 and -6. What is your answer? Celine, I have your answer. Awesome. All right, Dr. Hills. We got negative 4 over 5, negative 4 over 3, negative 8 over 10, negative 2 over 5. So which one is the answer?
Before we go through this, drop a yes if you used a calculator, drop a no if you did not. I'm just curious. Okay, I see one yes, yes. See a no, I see a yes.
I use
Got by
both of them.
hand,
Yeah.
negative 8 over 2, okay. Yes, error. No. All right. So we see that some people used a calculator and some people did not. So when I show you how to do this, keep that in mind, especially if you got the question incorrect and you did not use a calculator, okay? If you got it incorrect and you did use a calculator, see if you can figure out where you may have messed up. So I have already put my numbers in the formula. Before I put this in my calculator, can I get a check to make sure I'm correct? I need you guys to have my back. I don't want to get this wrong live. So here's my formula. I'm circling it down here at the bottom. I have negative 6 minus 2 divided by, this fraction bar means divided by 4 minus negative 6. All right, thank you. Thank you to my teachers in the room who have helped me to confirm that my formula has been put in correctly. So now I'm going to put it in the calculator, starting with the fraction button. Someone asked earlier, why didn't I divide? This fraction button automatically sets up division. The numerator is divided by the denominator, okay? Fractions are nothing but division wrote differently. Okay, so I have negative 6. Here's my negative. 6 minus 2. So far, so good. Drop a yes if you understand how I've put this in. Negative 6 minus 2. All right, thank you. Going down to my denominator, and I'm going to put in 4 minus negative 6. There it is. I didn't hit that minus button twice. I have to tell the calculator what I want it to do, and I have to know how to speak math clearly so that I can translate it to the calculator. So now I have it in. Can my teachers verify if I have my denominator in correctly as well before I hit that enter button? Perfect. Thank you, Miss Deidre. Thank you, Imelda. Thank you, Krystal. All right. So it's time for the moment of truth. Let's see if you got the answer correct. I'm pressing enter, and we have negative 4 over 5. No need to reduce. No need to ask questions. The answer is there. Drop a yes if that makes sense. Use that calculator. You'll be more successful because it leaves very little room for error. Can there still be errors on the calculator? Yes, but it's typically user error. But if we know how to use this calculator, we can get the answer, okay? And I've dropped this link in the chat box so that you can practice it now before you get to the exam. Okay, Krystal, you can take over the screen. I am giving it back to you. And thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dr. Hills. So we have seen one way the slope is shown on the exam. Here is another way the slope questions come on the exam. They'll give you a table with numbers in it and ask you, what is the slope of the line for this table? The best thing you can do is choose 2 points. I always choose the first 2 for peace of mind. But either one you want, you're going to get the same answer. So choose 2 points. This is your X, this is your Y. This was come first, second, third, fourth. So whichever one you want to choose, you can choose. And solve it just how we've been doing it. M equals Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus x1. This is another way that slope shows up on your exam. So I'm going to let you work it out. Put your answer in the chat. Those who are using calculators, use your calculator. Those who are working by hand, work by hand. Both types of students, take your time. What is your answer? So the ones that's under X are your X's. The ones that's under Y are your Y's. You can use either one. I always just use the first two. So my first
I
one
have
would
a
be
question.
negative
Oh.
3 and 4. And my second one would be negative 2 and 5. And I'll do that. I normally just use the first two because either one you do, you're going to get the same answer. So it really doesn't matter which one. Peace of mind for me, keep it simple. First two coordinates are what I use. I heard a question. I'm here.
I have a question. This lesson, is it recorded anywhere?
Yes, we are live on YouTube right now.
But like I could go back and see this lesson, correct?
Definitely.
Okay, because I'm sorry to interrupt. I have to leave because I had to feed my children.
You're
And
fine. Go ahead and
it,
leave. Bless you. We'll
uh,
see you later.
okay, thank
Thank
you.
you. Mhm. All right, so we have X, we have Y. We have X, we have Y. This is our first, this is our second. Y2 minus Y1 divided by X2 minus X1. Minus negative becomes a positive. 5 minus 4 is 1. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1. And 1 divided by 1 is 1. And our slope is 1. 1 is our slope. How do you feel about this type of problem? Seeing it on a chart, knowing what to do. Just choose 2 and move on. Don't matter which 2 we do. And I want to show y'all, it does not matter which 2 you do. So watch this. Let's say we want to do these. Negative 1, 6, and 0 and 7. X, Y, X, Y. These are our 1s, these are our 2s. Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Minus negative means a positive. 7 minus 6 is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. Boom, my slope is still 1. Don't matter which one you do, you still gonna get the same answer. You just gotta make sure you are keeping up and paying attention to what you are doing.
Well, I can't believe that I did it, but I got 1 on top and 1
Question.
some
You better believe it. Yes, Carly.
If you does it always have to be the ones that are next to each other? So like what if you took the -3 and then the 4 and then use the -1 and the 6, would it still be the same answer, or do they have to be the first two or the last two?
Let's see. Good question. That's a really good question, Carly. Let's see. So we're going to use this one and this one. So we're going to do -3 and 4, and then -1 and 6. X, Y, X, Y. 1, 1, 2, 2. Y2 minus Y1 divided by X2 minus X1. So we have 6/4. 6 minus 4 is 2. -1 plus 3 is 2. 2/2 is 1. And we got 1, Carly.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got 1.
Yeah. That's what I got, was 1.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. 1, you say, can we do 1 and 4? What do you, oh, you mean like this one and this one? Like we just did with Carly? Is that what you mean, 1?
-1 minus.
Okay, cool. You got it. All right. So let me show y'all something. This is a way that they ask slope on your exam. This is a way that they ask slope on your exam. And then this is a way that they ask slope on your exam. I actually pulled this from a test. I changed the words and the numbers, but I kept the cadence the same. I changed the names and things like that. So I want to know what your answer would be. This is a slope question. As you can see, it says slope of the graph. What is your answer? All right, let's look at this. Veronica has a weekend job as an accountant. One weekend she earns $420 by working 3 evenings. Another weekend she earns $510 by working 6 evenings. If Veronica graphed an equation that would represent her total earnings based on the number of evenings, what would the slope of the graph be? So I see my keyword is slope, and I know I'm going to use this formula. And I know that these numbers are going to be my X's and my Y's, but how do I know which one is going to be X and which is going to be Y? And when I see it says equation that would represent total earnings based on the number of evenings worked. In order for me to get money, I have to work. So working comes before the money. Working is going to be my X. Money is going to be my Y. So I have 3 and 420. And then I have 6 and 510. This is my X. This is my Y. That's my X. That's my Y. My Y2 is 510 minus my Y1 is 420. My X2 is 6 minus my X1 is 3. What is 510 minus 420?
90.
90. And what is 6 minus 3?
3.
3. And how many times is 3 going to 90? 30 times. And my answer is C.
So I did it wrong, but I still got the same answer. If because I just put the number that came first as X, would that still give you the same answer always or not?
You probably got 1 over 30,
Yes.
and you just use your intuition and said, if I flip it, it's 30 over 1, which gives me 30.
Yeah.
Pay attention to that, because what if 1 over 30 was the answer, was an answer choice? Would you have chosen 1 over 30 if you saw it as an answer choice?
No, I probably would have still picked 30 because we're talking about money.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Use your intuition, but yes, just know when it says based on, that's going to be what your X is.
So we should just always like correlate X with the word base.
Correlated with X comes first, and what comes first in the sequence of what I'm reading. For instance, look at this one.
So booking clients.
So the question says if she graphed an equation that would represent total earnings based on the number of clients. In order for her to get that money, she has to have clients. X comes before Y, clients come before getting the money. So your X would be your clients and your Y would be your total earnings.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
So tell me what your answer would be on this one. I will wait. Okay, someone tell me what is my first coordinate in this problem? What is my first coordinate?
I chose the 2,512.
For your first, that's gonna be your Y2.
Yeah, that's what I put.
So
But I
when I
could have
put it in
sworn
parentheses, which one comes first though?
1520.
the one 15, 26.
So 6 and 15, 20, and then 10 and 25, 12. And that's X, that's Y. That's X, that's Y. 2, 2, 1, 1, 25, 12, minus 15, 20, divided by 10, minus 6. What's 25, 12, minus 15, 20?
992.
992. And 10 minus 6,
4.
Negative
4.
4.
And 992 divided by 4 is
248.
248 is our slope. And that's the answer, y'all. That is the answer. And that's how you work out a slope problem on your exam. I'm super proud of y'all. So it is 11:58. We have one more hour, and I'm getting ready to do some hard A math. But I want to let you all get a break. So you come back at 12:01, and we will complete what we have going on. So I'm going to give you a break, 3 minutes. Okay, Jennifer says I should give y'all longer than that. So we're going to come back at 12:08. 12:08, come back. Do not leave me. But if you do leave me, I'm going to just do math by myself. 12:08, come back and we will finish what we have started. You guys are doing good. 12:08, see y'all in a minute. All right, it's 12:08. If you are back, please put a back in the chat. If you are back, please put a back in the chat. Okay, awesome. I'm so happy you guys have joined me again. We are going to go through the last portion of our session, which is going to be about geometry and some deep algebra. This question here deals with geometry and solving for x. You're given a figure with some numbers, with some words, and they ask you, what's the value of x? The first thing we have to do is read. And it says the area of the given trapezoid is 560 inches. And they want to know what is the value of x. Before we can even find the value of x, we have to figure out what is the formula to find the area of a trapezoid. So I want you to look on your formula sheet, look for the formula to find the area of a trapezoid, and let me know what it is by putting it in the chat or lifting your voice to the mic.
It is A
Area.
equals 1/2 times the height times base 1 plus base 2.
Perfect. So yes, you already have the equation for the area for this equation. They want to know the value of x, but in order for us to find the value of x, we have to know the formula to find the area so that we can work backwards, because our x is in one of our bases. So we got to figure out how much that base is. So our area is 560 equals 1/2. What's our height?
20.
20.
20. And half is 10.
What's our base 1?
6x times minus 8.
26.
And let me tell y'all, it doesn't matter which one you choose, because 1 plus 2 is 3 and 2 plus 1 is 3. So whether you choose this to be base 1 and this to be base 2, or this to be base 1 and that to be base 2, it does not matter. Just know that your bases are these two numbers. So I'm going to say that my base 1 is going to be 26. Plus my base 2 is going to be 6x minus 6. The first thing we know, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, and addition, then subtraction. Before we start adding stuff and multiplying and all that stuff, we need to go to our parentheses and combine our like terms. What like terms do we have in this last parentheses?
26 and negative 6.
26 and negative 6. So what's 26 minus 6? 20.
20.
So when we write it over, we have 560 equals 1/2 times 20 times 20 plus 6x. Can I combine 20 and 6x in that parentheses? Yes or no? No. I cannot say 20 plus 6x is 26x. I cannot do that. They are not like terms. So I have worked what's inside my parentheses. I do not have exponents. So the next thing I'm going to do is multiplication. First thing I'm going to multiply is 1/2 times 20. What is half of 20?
10.
10. So that becomes 560 equals 10 times 20 plus 6x. Now I'm going to multiply that 10 that's on the outside of those parentheses by everything inside the parentheses. So what is 10 times 20?
200.
200.
200.
And what's 10 times 6x?
60x.
60x. And I know some of us have been here too often. We have 560 equals 200 plus 60x. What should be my next step?
Would
Subtract
we
the
divide it?
200s from each side.
Say that again, LaKanya.
Subtract the 200 from each side.
Subtract 200 from each side. So I'm going to do minus 200 here, minus 200 here.
And it'll be 360 equals 68.
360 equals 60x. I'm running out of space. I'm going to move it over here. 36, actually, I'm going to move it to the top. All right. So we have area of a trapezoid is 150 inches. And our formula is 1/2 times the height times base 1 plus base 2. I'm going to rewrite my formula. 1/2, my height is 10, my base 1 is 12, my base 2 is 3x plus 6. Inside my parentheses, I can combine the 12 and the 6, which gives me 18. So I'm going to rewrite it. 1/2 times 10 times 18 plus 3x. Now I can simplify this. 1/2 of 10 is 5. And now I'm going to distribute that 5 against the 18 and the 3x. So 5 times 18
It's 90.
is 90. Thank you. I appreciate that. 150 equals 90. And then 5 times 3 is 15 plus 15x. I'm going to move my 90 by subtracting it from both sides. 150 minus 90 is 60. So now I have 60 equals 15x. Divide both sides by 15. And 60 divided by 15 is 4. And D is my answer. How do you feel? Better? Okay. Better? When you look at a problem like this, what do you feel like if you saw it again, you know what to do? I'm listening.
Yes, I do, and I feel like I'm gonna take me a practice test after this class,
Mm-hmm.
to see what I do.
Okay. I'm glad that you said that. I have practice test codes for everybody here. Everybody
Thank
that participates.
you. Thank you.
Miss
Very good.
Crystal,
Uh-huh.
so did we times the 5 and 18 and 3 to get the 150?
No, the 150 was given to us from the beginning.
Oh, yeah, the 150 at the beginning. So how do we
We
get the
did
90?
do the 5 times 18 to get the 90, 5 times 3x to get the 15x.
Okay.
And that's how we got this part over here.
Okay, so we moved the 150 over. Okay. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Maria, I see your hand up, but then I see you put it down.
Where did, excuse me, where did you get the 18 from?
The 18 came from me adding 12 and 6.
Ah, okay.
I combined like terms.
Okay, I didn't do that. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to skip that one, and I want to go to another type of geometry question. This is another one where you have to go to your formula sheet, get your formula, solve. So I'm going to allow you to solve it. Once you have the answer, put it in the chat. I'm going to give 3 minutes.
Miss Krystal. This
Yes,
got
ma'am.
yes, ma'am. We got to do this because it threw me for a loop. Like I
Okay.
am in shambles. Like I know the formula for circle because it gave
Mm-hmm.
me the area, which was 90 equals pi times the radius squared. I'm so confused.
Okay, so 90 equals pi times radius squared. How much is pi?
3.14.
So 3.14 times radius squared. What should I do now?
I divided it.
Divide what?
The 90 times the 3.14.
Okay, so divide both sides by 3.14.
Hmm.
What is 90 divided by 3.14?
I got 28.66 times the radius squared, and I didn't know
Okay,
what else
so
to do.
we have 28.66 equals, not times, but equals radius squared.
Mm.
So now I have 28.66 equals radius squared. When we first started this today, I told you blank is the opposite of squaring. What is the opposite of squaring?
Cute. Um,
Square root. Square root.
Square root.
Square
square.
root is the opposite of squaring. So if I take the square root of both sides, this cancels out and gives me what's underneath that, which is r. And now I take the square root of 28.66. What is the square root of 28.66? To the nearest hundredth, two numbers after the decimal.
Hmm.
5.35.
5.35 is my radius, and the question is asking for diameter. So if
Get the
5.35 is my radius, what is my diameter?
10.7.
10.7 is my diameter.
Wow.
How do we get 3.35?
We, in our calculator, do square root of 28.66.
Is it the, oh, I see, of 28.66. Oh, okay. Dang it. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do one more then?
Mm-hmm. I think Miss Maria has her hand up. I'm listening.
I just want to know, how do we submit that into the calculator?
Submit with what into the calculator?
Can we do the square root, like the 20 square root 28.66? I mean, can
What
that
kind
be?
of calculator are you using?
I have the TI 30XS,
So I would do the second button at the top,
right?
and I'm doing this off of memory. Hit second, hit the X squared button because there is a square root right symbol right above it.
I got it.
So the X squared button, and then put in 28.66 and hit enter.
Okay, it gave me 20.09.
Did
Clear
you hit
everything.
did you hit the one that was above with the arrow up? Because it got a
Yeah,
X
yeah,
in
yeah,
front
yeah.
of it.
Yeah, I've used it. I know how to use. I think
No, you're not using it right. Hold on right quick. Yeah, but she has a TI 30XS. Okay, Dr. Hills is gonna get on the screen.
okay. I hit
Okay, let
second.
me share my screen, and we're doing the square root of 28.66. So I'm going to share my screen here. Give me a second.
Mhm.
All right, I'm clearing everything out. And this is what we need to do. We're going to hit the second button because we need the square root button. As we can see here, the square root button is green. So any button that's green means we need to square root or hit the second button. So hit the second button and there's our square root. And was it 28.55?
28.66.
28.66 underneath the square root button, just like this.
Mhm.
And when I press enter, I get 5.35.
5.35. Okay. I hit the one above the X2. That's what I did.
And that's
Okay.
what I was letting you know.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Krystal, I'm going to give it back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Hills. I appreciate it. I really do. All right, let me finish sharing my screen again. And let's do another one.
Miss Krystal, I have a question first.
Yes.
So where did the 10.7 come from? How did we get the radius of that? Other than, I mean, the whole,
Your
I can't say that.
diameter is twice
Yeah,
your radius.
diameter. Uh-huh.
So 2 times 535 is 10.7.
Okay. We're going to times it. Okay.
Always. So if you know your radius and you're looking for your diameter, multiply your radius by 2 to get your diameter. If you
Okay.
have your diameter and you're looking for your radius, divide it by 2 to get your radius.
Okay. Okay. So it'll be opposite. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Here is another. What is the surface area of a cylinder whose diameter is 15 inches? Great job, y'all. You saw the missing link. We cannot solve this if we don't have a height. It only gives us the diameter. But you had to go to your formula sheet and see what is the formula to find the surface area of a cylinder. And when you go, you see surface area equals 2 times pi times radius times height plus 2 times pi times radius squared. And all the question gives us is the diameter. We don't have the height. So how can we solve for the surface area of the cylinder without the height? And this is when you would choose cannot be determined.
I was thinking, like, I can't figure this out, so that would be the good answer.
The answer B cannot be determined.
I did say the same thing, Dr. Hills, and I was like, let me work it, and I end up finding the radius, but like you said, it's no height. That was it. So that's the reason why I put 7.5 and didn't do nothing else.
Yes, yes. So cannot be determined would be the answer for this. I want people to get acclimated to the formula sheet. Reading the formula sheet and understanding what's needed for the formula sheet. All right, it is 2:48. Let's do one more. What is the surface area of a sphere whose diameter is 32 feet? What is the surface area of a sphere whose diameter is 32 feet? Melisha, you're missing one step. One step you're missing. Your step is correct, Melisha. Okay, the surface area of the sphere. Melisha, I was looking at the volume. Forgive me, girl. Surface area of a sphere is 4 times pi times radius squared. My diameter is 32 feet. What is my radius?
16.
16. So we have 4 times 3.14 times 16
16.
times 16. And what do we get when we do all of that?
Is it 256?
Well, all of that'll be 3,215.36,
Hold
Right.
on. Uh,
right?
3215.36
15.
is our answer.
Miss Krista, I have a question
I'm
before we
listening.
leave.
Uh-huh.
How do we find? It's a question that I just did not understand. It's not even this. I'm sorry, y'all, but it's
Good.
really been on my mind for a couple of days now.
Mm-hmm.
How do we find uneven square, and it's just giving us numbers as the answer choices?
What do you mean?
I'm gonna go click on it. It was a question like, what represents a uneven square? It was on one of the tests that you gave me.
A perfect square? Which one of these are a perfect square?
Something like that. I'm about to tell you. Dang, I wish I would have.
He said, are we using the cylinder formula instead of the sphere? No, we use the sphere. We use surface area of a sphere. Surface area of a cylinder would be 2 pi r height plus 2 pi r squared. So we use surface area of a sphere. You find it, Olivia?
I'm we got a lot of emails. I'm trying to find it right now.
I do send a lot of emails. I was trying to keep y'all on the up and up.
I thank you. I love it. It helps me so much because I'm understanding. I think it's right here. I think I found it.
Okay.
32. Okay, I see.
Shoot. Let's click on